way don't always win. Rap is very pop now, as we can see from Macklemore kind of racking it up all night.
But the brother could have won one.
Yeah, come on.
Could have won one. All right, Tia, we appreciate it. Thanks a bunch. Show the cover again. Kendrick Lamar on the cover of Jet Magazine.
Make sure you guys pick it up.
All right, thanks a bunch. Hey, folks, I'm Roland Martin. This is News One Now.
Meet the fuel-efficient Ford Fusion. Along with impeccable style and EcoBoost technology, the Fusion also comes with...
Thanks for driving again, man.
Involuntary carpools and double takes.
Nice.
Woo! Studio time? And date nights. With so many ands, where will you end up? The fuel-efficient Ford Fusion. Go further.
EcoBoost optional. EPA estimated rating of 22 city, 33 highway, 26 combined MPG. 2.0 liter EcoBoost. Actual mileage will vary.
Walmart presents Fit Into the New Year.
Hey girl, it's your sweatpants. It's been fun hanging out 24/7 these last few months. We enjoyed so many turkey dinners and sweet treats, but this relationship has turned into a real stretch.
Walmart has low prices on everything you need to get back on track, like Spring Valley vitamins and delicious Cheerios, plus rollbacks on select Weight Watchers products.
I'm your friend, but you're wearing me out.
Save money, live better, Walmart.
Psst, it's me, your bathroom medicine cabinet. I see you naked, know how often you floss, and watch you pluck unsightly hairs. I can keep a secret, but you need to know. Your kids have been taking your prescriptions to get high. I couldn't keep it quiet because prescription drug abuse now causes more deaths than cocaine and heroin ODs combined. So please, mind your meds. For tips on safeguarding your meds and your family, visit the partnership at drugfree.org.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy and you feel fine. But that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Doesn't always cause symptoms, but it can be prevented. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Good morning, now this WOL traffic update. Northbound on 295, still pretty slow, up from about Seward Parkway to the 11th Street Bridge. An earlier accident right near there was cleared away, so some lingering delays on 295. Southbound on the BW Parkway, you're going to find it slow from 202 down into town. And on 295 southbound, it's still slow from Burroughs Avenue down to the 11th Street Bridge. Accident was on Texas Avenue at Ridge Road. Look for police on the scene, still there. On the inbound lanes of Route 50, slow still after 410 into town from 202, and then Baltimore-Washington Parkway is still going to be a little slow from 202. Outbound Suitland Parkway, construction in the right lane after Alabama Avenue before Stanton Road. Now your WOL weather forecast for today, starting off mild but getting colder all day, into the 20s by afternoon. And then tonight, cloudy with a low near 11. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, very cold day, a high near 18. Steve Hirschman for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
Confessions of a Potentially Perfect Parent, brought to you by AdoptUsKids.org.
Okay, here goes. I know more about cooking dinner for a party of 12 than I do about packing a lunch for a 12-year-old. I know kids like things like PB&J, pigs in a blanket. Oh, and fish sticks. They do love fish sticks. Fillets I get, but sticks? What part of the fish does the stick come from? I know I can read a cookbook that'll tell me how to make a red wine reduction, but where are the cookbooks that can teach me how to cut the crusts off bologna sandwiches? Oh, maybe we can compromise on mac and cheese. Can you make that with brie? Everybody likes brie, right?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to push your food around their plate. Call 1-888-200-4005 or visit AdoptUsKids.org for more information. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Take an ordinary putty knife and scrape off the old wax ring. Place the new wax ring over the flange, then line up the bolts with the bowl and gently set in place, making sure a proper seal is created with the flange and drain. Next.
Dad?
Yeah, sweetie.
Is that an old plumbing manual?
Oh, yeah, honey.
We really need to get some new books.
Right, do you want me to stop?
Nah, I kind of want to know how it ends.
Okay. Tighten the bolts, line up the flushing valve to the opening in the top of the bowl, and secure the tank with a screwdriver and crescent wrench.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Dad, remember when you asked me, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I want to get paid. Well, right after that, you said, there's no job called getting paid.
Really? I said that?
Yeah. And that's exactly when I knew. I wanted to go to college.
You never know which moments will be the ones they remember forever. So take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This heavyweight bout is about to begin. What's the champ wearing? Looks like an examination gown. And from the back...
Ooh, that's not pretty.
Champ, what's with the get-up?
I've got to take care of my family, so I'm getting those important medical screens.
The fight is over! Champ, you look pretty healthy out there tonight.
But I'm still getting those tests. For a list of tests you need, go to ahrq.gov. And remember, real men wear gowns.
Go to ahrq.gov. This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, AHRQ, and the Ad Council.
They're gonna jump out of trees. They'll go down the slide head first. They'll make parachutes out of sheets. But one of the most dangerous things kids will do happens while they're sitting perfectly still. Kids who ride in a car without a booster seat are much more likely to suffer serious or fatal injury, but amazingly, 80% of all kids who need them aren't in them. After a toddler seat and until they're 4'9", booster kids, and don't let them down.
Go to boosterseat.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
I'm Jessica Mendoza, U.S. Olympic gold and silver medalist. I never take my eyesight for granted, and neither should you. Doesn't matter how old you are, you could be losing your vision to glaucoma without knowing it. Take care of your sight. Schedule regular eye exams for yourself and those you love. Call 1-800-437-2423 or go to ahaf.org for free information and publications from National Glaucoma Research. That's 1-800-437-2423.
Where are the cereals?
Aisle 2.
Oh, thanks. What on earth are you cleaning up?
Can't tell. Either someone's love handles or their belly.
Excuse me?
Yep, more people are losing weight and getting healthy thanks to small step number 121. Eat before grocery shopping. Makes you less tempted to buy junk food.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Ugh, please don't let it be someone's thunder thighs.
Take a small step. Smallstep.gov, a public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
1450 WOL, Washington, D.C. and WPRS HD2 Waldorf, Washington. A Radio 1 station and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily...
Just leave your cares behind. No matter how you feel, it's gonna be just fine.
All right. Oh, yes, everybody. I tell you, we're so honored to be here today, here another day on the Sea Island Morning Show. The voice that you're hearing in the background, we wanted to start off our show today to pay special tribute to Robert Person. Robert Person Sr. He's going away service is held today. Robert Person Jr. is one of my long-term friends. We met at Morehouse College today. He's burying his dad in Southeast Washington on Stanton Road. And I tell you, his mother is a listener. Ruby is a listener of this show where she tunes in every Monday on the Sea Island Morning Show. Well, today she's not tuning in because right now at this time they're having the wake and then the memorial service for Robert Person Sr. That the voice that you just heard was the son, Robert Person Jr., and who's a really good friend of mine. We have been friends for over 25 years. So the Sea Island Morning Show, our team, we definitely send our condolences out to you, Robert, during this very difficult time. on his Facebook page. He says that he's committing his hero unto God today. So we definitely wish you our prayers and hope and pray that of course you will get past this, but especially for your mother who has been with your dad for over 40 years. So we're just super duper excited to start our program off with a moment of sending our condolences from the Sea Island Morning Show, 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. All right, everyone. Now it's time to get busy. We're going to class today. Well, first of all, I'm not going to go off this morning because Trendy Lindy just walked in the door and it's 10 o'clock. So we're not going to go. Good morning, Trendy. Okay, say it again, baby. Nobody heard you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sienna. Good morning, Andre.
See, Andre, that's why I told you I don't fool with women like that. And see, that's what I told you. I told you that's the reason why I'm single, saved, and sanctified. Holy Ghost filled and fire baptized.
Wait a minute.
Because of folks like Trendy Lindy, who is, you know what, we need to ask this question, why women are always late. Henry, talk to me about that. Do you have that problem with when you were Angela? Why are women so late? And let me tell you, Alonzo, let me tell you what used to upset me. My last girlfriend, Aaliyah, used to make my soul hurt because she's still in the mirror doing her face while I'm in the car getting ready to go to church, and you got me late every Sunday. This is the reason why I don't fool with the women. Linda West Point, Trendy Lindy, with her late self, who just rolled into the studio 2 seconds ago.
I know I had that same problem with Angela.
Please tell me about it.
It just seems like women just don't have no sense of time.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm talking to all the women that are listening to the Sea Island Morning Show. You know you probably fit the same thing, have no sense of time.
You probably late right now.
Still in the car saying, let me get 5 minutes to Sea Island before I go back to
probably late
right now. You know what? You have to compare a lady to like the Holy Spirit and everything. We may not be, we may not come when you want us, but we always on time.
Oh, no, sweetie, that's not going to work. I rebuke that spirit. That is not going to work.
Oh, Lord.
All right, everyone. I tell you, we are so appreciative to have you here today, listening to us. Today we're going to go into the classrooms today. Today we are going to talk about Beauty 101. Linda Trendy is going to talk to you now about the CEU classes because we have been doing an awesome job. Today I thought we would spill over from yesterday's class because yesterday's class, Miss Branch, she taught skin, Miss Carpenter taught hair conditioning, and I taught the business class. So we're going to give you like a little review of what we did over yesterday. But what I want people to understand is the importance of education and continuing to learn. This is what I need all the listeners to do. I need you to get your pen and paper out because I'm going to be a blessing to 10 people today. 10 people, I'm going to give you a $25 gift card. That's a $250 value from all 10 from the morning show that we're going to give you to come out this week to see me and to see Rashida at the Sea Island Signature Salon, because today I'm going to be talking about not only my 3 C's, but I'm going to be talking about hair conditioning, how important it is. And when we tell you to call in, that's why you need to take your notes. When we tell you to call in so you can give us back the information that we gave you, then you'll be on point, and then you'll be ready to you'll be ready to win some of the gift cards that we have. So in order to do that, you got to take your pen and paper down, and you got to be ready to listen, because today we're in the classroom. Now, while you get together your paper and pen, I just want to start off with the Grammys on yesterday. Did any of you see the Grammys?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Lord have mercy. Oh,
did
have
you see
mercy.
Lonzo
Lord
didn't
have
see
mercy.
it.
They said it was boring.
Well, that's not the point. The point is that when you are on a show, Andre and Trendy, where you are doing fashion, entertainment, and beauty, you must take time and see some of the show so you can be able to report it to your listeners.
That's true. I was celebrating my nephew's 14th birthday. We were out. We had a good time at the restaurant and at the movies.
So that's why you're late this morning.
Yeah, and then I went to the gym after that. So, yes.
So that's why you have your lace outfit on this morning.
Well, I'm trying to learn to balance everything. That's the key to, you know, having a wonderful, successful 2014.
So I got it, Andre. Yeah. She's late and laced. Got it.
Lord help me.
See, the reason I didn't watch it yesterday is because I was busy trying to hone my skills as a graphic designer.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I was also trying this brand new drink. We're not even going to talk about that, but it was really good.
In the name of Jesus, this is 1450 AM WOL, where information is power. We don't want to hear nothing about Linda, her late
personal
lace,
information,
and Andre about some new drink that you decided. This is not the venue for that. Now, what I do want you to do, listeners, while we're talking, while you're getting your paper and pen out, we're going to church shout out this morning. I want you to call me. I missed church yesterday because I was teaching classes all day. So I need you to call me now, and I want to know, what did your pastor preach about yesterday? You know, that's a shame if y'all don't call, because you know what that means. That means y'all sat in service, y'all jumped up and down, y'all said, say it, preacher. And on this Monday, you can't remember nothing the pastor said. Well, I'm putting you on the spot now. 1-800-450-7876. Again, that's 1-800-450-7876. I want you to call me now. Do a pastor shout out, a church shout out, your pastor. What did your pastor preach about on yesterday? I need a little word because I was not in church. I was at 700 Monroe at the Bennett Career Institute. Trendy needs word because she was celebrating a 14-year-old nephew. That's why she late today. Ray need a word because he was drunk last night.
Word.
All right, everybody. 1-800-450-7876. Again, that's 1-800-450-7876. I want to know, what did your pastor preach about on yesterday? All right, so now while we're doing that, let's go back to the Grammys. Well, now I kind of sat through it, and it was not my kind of venue, but of course it started off with Beyonce and Jay-Z doing their live rendition of Drunken in Love.
How was that?
And well, I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it because I'm used to seeing Beyonce doing a real production. I'm not used to seeing her out there with her wet and wavy weave, but out there with just a chair. It was just her in a chair out there. And I'm not used to just seeing her out there. She was doing a lot of groping around, her in her chair. And then Jay-Z came out and with his tuxedo on, and it was okay. It was an okay performance. Normally with the Grammys, if nothing else, we like the opening of the show because we like to see something fabulous. We like to see a big bang. We like to see something that's going to be really great. And I don't think we saw that. That's my opinion. But I was too busy going back and forward to the Housewives of Atlanta. Did anybody see that? Lord have mercy.
No, sir.
The Housewives of Atlanta, my God, they started fighting towards the end of the show. And to me, I just think it's unfortunate because you see people that don't look like us standing around holding cameras, and we're in a room and we are going back and forward with each other to the point where, to me, I just thought it was just completely unnecessary for grown folk to be going back and forward with each other when they should have been, you know, kind of focusing on some more positive things, but instead they were going back and forth with each other. So
hold on,
it was
Mr.
just
Cialan, was it the women doing? I mean, the actual housewives?
No, Christopher Williams had grabbed Kenya, and then Kenya's best friend jumped in and said, "Don't put your hands on her." And then it went to knocking Kenya's friend down, and then they went from there to the going back forward with you know, they were fighting. I mean, really fighting, kicking and pushing and all kinds of stuff. It wasn't nothing that was set or whatever. It was something that was real.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that was basically that. So for those of you who are just tuning in, today we're going to class. We're about to go to break now. When we come back, we're going to go full force. We're going to have our Beauty 101 with Rashida. Miss Branch is calling in talking about skin. Miss Carpenter about hair conditioning. I'm talking about the business, the 3 C's. Linda's going to talk about the importance of you taking continuing education. Andre is going to do a barber 101. Today we're taking you the class. We need you to have that pen and paper ready, and when I call you to ask you for some answers, you raise your hand, you dial the number, and you will receive the $25 gift card. Until then, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what your pastor talked about yesterday. 1-800-450-7876. We'll be back after these messages.
1450 WOL.
Good morning. This WOL traffic update is brought to you by Food Lion. South Dakota Avenue at Farragut Place. It was an accident between Sargent Road and Gallatin Street. South Dakota Avenue at Farragut Place. 15th Street southbound downtown at Constitution Avenue, accident in the right lane. Accident Texas Avenue at Ridge Road, still there. Right downtown, also eastbound on K Street. At 14th Street, the right lane is closed with an accident. Use your MVP card to enter Food Lion's Ultimate Tailgate Sweepstakes, and you could win a brand new 2014 GMC Sierra truck. Now your WOL weather forecast brought to you by the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. For today, partly cloudy, temperatures dropping all afternoon into the 20s. Then tonight, cloudy down to 11. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy day with a high only near 18. With the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, you can now take your sleeping child's temperature with just a scan across the forehead. Pick one up at Walgreens or other fine retailers today. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
Nurse, set up an IV. And you, her boyfriend, you were the driver?
Yes, doctor, but I didn't mean to hurt her. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Just buzzed? Oh, then your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great.
She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stack.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete? 1 in 16,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sound or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs, visit autismspeaks.org.
Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
All right, everyone, we're back here live. It's the Sea Island Morning Show. I tell you, today we're going to class today. I need all of you to take your pen and paper out. I have my book open. Lindy's sitting here with her lace. Andre is ready. And it's all about beauty education today. But before we do that, I ask you to call me at 1-800-450-7876. We're going to go to Yvonne. I want to know, what did Pastor preach about on yesterday? I need a little word because I was in classes all day. Yvonne, talk to me. What happened? Tell me the name of your church, your pastor, and what did Pastor about on yesterday?
Well, thank you for this opportunity, Sea Island. I go to People's Congregational United Church of Christ, and it's located at 4704 13th Street, Northwest Washington, D.C.
Okay.
My pastor is the Reverend Dr. Michael C. Murphy.
Yes.
And Dr. Murphy had a very dynamic, inspirational message yesterday. He talked about growing, that's Growing, and glowing, Glowing, in Christ. And he said, when we grow in Christ, we will glow, and our lives will reflect the light that God gives us. And we can achieve this glowing state by practicing the Word, that is, studying the Bible, studying the Word of God, by prayer, which puts us in a relationship with God, and by praise. So the three ways to glow in Christ, GLOW, is to study the Word, to pray, and to praise God.
Okay.
And this will give us spiritual growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And that is the only way. We cannot ignore praise, prayer, nor studying the Word.
All right, very good. Thank you so much, Yvonne. I needed that word today. You have an awesome day, and you keep listening to the Sea Island Morning Show, all right?
I certainly will, and I plan to go to your signature salon there on Florida Avenue.
Yes.
To get my hair done, and I think I have an appointment with Tiffany, so I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, very good.
I won a gift card one year for $25, and that was when I was introduced to the salon.
That's great.
Okay, very good. All right, well, thank you so much, Yvonne. We got to go to class, but you keep listening, and I want to see you soon at Signature, all right? Thank you.
And I hope that word will inspire you, Sea Island.
Well, it already has. Thank you, Yvonne. All right, everyone. That was Yvonne there, and she was shouting out her church and her pastor. We're going to go to Rashida, but I still want you to call me 1-800-450-7876. What did Pastor preach about on yesterday? That was really good, Yvonne. Now, are you going to be as detailed as Yvonne? I'm not sure. All right. Good morning, Rashida Franklin. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Mr. Bennett. Good morning, Trendy Lindy.
Good morning, Rashida.
Good morning, good morning, my listeners.
Okay, what about Henri? You didn't say good morning to Henri.
She don't love Henri. She don't love
Good morning, Henri. How are you today?
I'm a little hurt.
Monday.
I'm a little hurt, but I get that.
Okay, so listen, this is what we want to do, Rashida. What we want to do is that we're so excited to bring all of your skills to the Sea Island Signature Salon. We're so excited. You've been a graduate, from MUD, the makeup school out of Los Angeles, California, for you to be a graduate from Delaware State, for you to be a long-standing instructor as well as a makeup artist and a graduate from the Bennett Career Institute. We are so happy to have you at the Sea Island Signature Salon, our premier salon in Washington. One of the things that we want to do, Rashida, is we want 10 people. We're going to give 10 gift cards out to people that's going to come and see you this week with your expertise in makeup, your expertise in skincare, as well as hair services. So that $25 will go towards a service with Rashida Franklin. And what I want to do, Rashida, because our listeners are going to answer our questions and they're going to win, and we're going to give out 10 gift cards for them to come out this week to see you. Talk to me today. You're our instructor for our Makeup Beauty Section 101 discussing today, Rashida.
Well, you know, it's so funny, Mr. Bennett, because today I wanted to talk to the listeners about makeup do's and makeup don'ts.
Okay.
And so I have a list of some makeup do's and some makeup don'ts today that I would like to share. Number one, ladies, do use a foundation that matches your skin tone exactly.
Okay, let me start. Okay. Wait a minute now. You know, I got to chime in now. We got to do this together. First of all, I am so sick of going into the church and looking in the choir stand and see that you are black as me and you have that foundation 2 shades lighter. No, ma'am. Go ahead, Ms. Franklin.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You want the foundation on your cheek, down your jawline, to ensure your foundation is your base. And so it should be the exact same. Don't use a concealer that is too light or too dark. You want to use flesh tone concealers, which means no yellow, orange, or lavender tones. Make sure that the concealer is a shade or 2 shades lighter than your foundation. Do use professional makeup brushes. You will be surprised at how beautiful your makeup looks when you apply it with full-size quality brushes. And natural hair brushes are the best. Ladies.
Okay, wait a minute, Frank. Wait a minute, Frank. Yes. Wait a minute now.
Yes.
Well, she's so excited today. I want you to come. We're in the classroom. So listen, now my question is, now I know that Sea Island, we have some professional brushes, but tell us, besides Sea Island, give us at least 2 more brush places that you think that we can go and get some professional brushes?
Absolutely. I love MAC brushes. Most of their brushes are natural hair bristles. They're very soft. They're very precise. They will last forever if you take care of them. And there is another place where I like to go called Crown Brushes. They have a wonderful selection of brushes, regardless of the look that you are trying to create.
Okay, go ahead.
Ladies, do not overdo your eyebrows. Brows that are overdrawn, pencil thin, overly sparse, strongly arched, or too heavy or thick can make you look older than you really are. Plus, they can look harsh and dated. If you are at a loss, seek professional guidance from a licensed makeup artist or a brow expert who can guide you to the right brow shape and give you effective grooming tips.
And let me tell you something. And that is so true, because a lot of the seniors who come into the Bennett Career Institute to get their hair done, or they go to Signature and get their hair done, a lot of times they have their brows is dark. It looked like they took some charcoal black and put it on their brows, but then they may have blonde or reddish hair, but then they have those really dark brows, and it make them look so much older. Listen to me. If you're just tuning in, we have Rashida Franklin, who is the newest Sea Island professional that's at the 705 Signature Salon, and we're giving away gift cards to come out to see her. $25 towards the service. Some of her services are only $25. She has a brow special that we're going to talk about in a minute. But if you already learned something that she says, call me now at the 1-800-450-7876. We're giving out 10 cards today, and we only have 2 hours to give out the 10 cards. So you all need to start calling me now, 1-800-450-7876. If you want to sit in this woman's chair that's going to do miraculous things. Go ahead, finish with the brows.
You know what, Mr. Bennett, the last thing I want to say for my ladies, do have confidence, and that is the best beauty regimen of all. I have so many specials this weekend for my listeners here. Lashes and brows for $15.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Full facials, regardless of your skin texture and tone. I have something for you. $25 facials.
Wow.
$25 full face makeovers, ladies, including lashes. So come and get beautiful for the weekend. I got what you need at the Sea Island Signature Salon.
All right, so we're now going to take calls, 1-800-450-7876. Tell me something that Rashida Franklin, Beauty in a Minute, tell me something that she taught you today, and you'll be able to go in and sit in her chair and be mesmerized. Thank you so much, Rashida. I want you to keep listening to the show, and we will talk after it's over, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you, you guys.
All right. Thank you. All right, at this time, let's go to Miss Carpenter on line 2. Is this Shadonna Carpenter?
Yes, it is.
All right, Miss Carpenter, I want you to take a moment, and I want you to just give my listening audience, we have thousands of listeners, give them a little background on who you are first before we go into our lesson of the day.
Well, I'm a licensed educator. I've taken several classes in several places. I am an alumni of Bennett Career Institute and as well as Dudley's Institute. I've taken many classes in hair color, relaxer, permanent wave. I am in product knowledge, more or less. I have a little knowledge on product. And I would just like to share with you all about my class yesterday.
Okay. So, Ms. Carpenter, how long have you been in the beauty industry?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years in the beauty industry. First, let me start off by saying that Ms. Carpenter is one of our senior team members at the Bennett Career Institute. She teaches our junior level classes. Now, Ms. Carpenter has taught at Dudley's for over 10 years. She's taught at Bennett on and off for close to about 10 years as well. And we met Ms. Carpenter at DC Beauty Academy. Ms. Carpenter, first, let me just tell you that you are in my book, because Saturday when I went to my mom's house to get all of the images for the My Business is the Beauty Business book that comes out in March. And I got an old picture of Shadonna Carpenter, and I said, this is going in the book. Did you hear what I said? I'm putting all the staff in the book, and you're definitely one of those people going in the book. I found a great picture. Now, Ms. Carpenter, we're gonna have to go to commercial break, but listen, I want you to hold on the line. When we come back, I want you to give our listeners a brief synopsis on what happened on yesterday. When I sat with the students, they said you and Ms. Branch was phenomenal. So I want to talk about that so our listeners can get a little glimpse of what we do at the Bennett Career Institute. We're going to commercial break, everybody. Have your pen and paper ready. Start calling me for those gift cards, 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back with Miss Shadonna Carpenter.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning, I'm Doug Parrish. Here's the latest from News1.com, brought to you in part by Fairfax Kia, a new 2014 Sorento for only $199 a month. Go to fairfaxkia.com for more info. Well, police in Howard County continue to search for a motive in Saturday's deadly shootings at the mall in Columbia. Police say Darian Aguilar took his own life, but not before killing 21-year-old Brianna Benlolo and 25-year-old Tyler Johnson. And investigators are still trying to find any connection between the three. There were many witnesses to the shootings and plenty of shoppers who ran for cover. Sandy Burkmeyer and her daughter had to hide in a dressing room when the first shots rang out.
We love this mall. It won't prevent us from ever coming back, but it'll certainly make us just alarmed and a little more aware.
Well, meanwhile, the mall will reopen this afternoon at 1 o'clock amid memorial services for the victims. Well, fire officials are trying to figure out what sparked a fire that destroyed a townhome early this morning in Alexandria. Flames broke out at the home on Town Manor Court, that's in the Mount Vernon area. One man was rushed to a hospital with severe smoke inhalation. The U.S. military carried out a missile strike in Somalia on Sunday that targeted a suspected militant leader. Still wasn't clear whether the strike was successful. Military officials said the target was linked to both the Al-Qaeda and the Al-Shabaab terror groups. And it was music's best night. The Grammys were held last night and featured a string of big-name performances from Beyoncé to Lorde and beyond. The group Daft Punk won Album of the Year. And this report brought to you in part by Food Line. Visit your local Food Line for thousands of MVP specials like 2-pound containers of fresh strawberries, 2 for $4. I'm Doug Parrish. When you're looking for news for Black America, go to News1.com.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
All right, everyone, we're back. Are we back? We're back? Okay, I can't hear anything. Okay. All right, we're back here live. Yes, thank you. We're back live here at the Bennett. I was about to say at the Bennett Career Institute. Lord have mercy. See, Ms. Carpenter, how you done got me? We're back here live at the Sea Island Morning Show, and we stopped with Ms. Carpenter. Ms. Carpenter, let me just tell you this real quick. We, during a commercial break, in my class, we were talking about customer service, which I'm going to talk about later on the show. And the lady said it was 3 women. It was 2 Caucasian women, 1 Hispanic woman said that it was because of customer service that brought them to the Bennett Career Institute. They said that there were 3 choices that the state board gave them, but when they called us, that we were so detailed with them, and we were so informative. And the customer service was at an all-time high. So Trendy Lindy is the one that has been speaking to the people. But Ms. Carpenter, Mr. Wells said it was him. It wasn't Trendy Lindy.
Well, so what Mr. Wells do, he says, you want CEUs? Let me transfer you. So I don't think it was him, sir.
I don't think it was either, but he said it was. No, all right, Ms. Carpenter, you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right. Okay, talk to Ms. Carpenter. Give us a brief update on what happened in the class. And this is also for many of you who still need to get, if you're a licensed professional in the district, Trendy going to tell you all about that, what you need, and this is a little bit of what you're going to get. Talk to us, Ms. Carpenter.
Well, first thing we did, we talked about my first question was asking the people, how many of you wanted to be in this class? And, of course, everyone was mumbling and grumbling. No one wanted to be there. And I told them, I said, this is a good thing because now we're going to keep up with what's happening. You all have been in the salon so long, you don't know what's going on out there, so there's new things that's going on. So they said, okay. So I said, I'm going to do the class a little different. I said, we're going to have some fun today. And they were like, okay. So I started talking about products and water and pH and different things that I know they haven't talked about in years, and a lot of them, I saw the eyes open up and they start rolling around in their heads, so I was giving them food for thought, and they were very hungry. So after a while, we started talking. I said, let's talk back. So I started asking questions, and they started replying, and they started asking questions, and I was replying, and we had a good time in that class. I mean, it was really awesome. I was surprised because I thought everybody had their arms up. They was going to be boxing me, but everybody was relaxed. Everybody was activating with us. We were talking. We were doing all kinds of things in there. We were laughing and having fun. It was a fun class, and I recommend anyone else that does not have their hours at this time, please get on board and make sure you get into one of our classes at BCI, please, because we've got it going on.
Okay, so Ms. Carpenter, tell us the title of your class, and I need you to teach it to my listeners for just a couple of minutes. I know I put you on the spot.
My class was product knowledge and shampoos and conditioners, and I told them about the 4 categories of shampoos. All the shampoos all over the world, as many as we may have, only fall under 4 categories. And the 4 categories are cationic, which is antibacterial. Anionic is deep cleansing shampoos. Non-ionic is moisturizing conditioner shampoos. And ampholyptic is baby shampoos. So any shampoo that we have out there falls under those 4 categories by product and ingredient listing.
Okay, Ms. Carpenter. Now, my listeners are writing this information down because they want to win a gift card. So you got to break that down just a little slower. The Spirit says, somebody said, tell that lady to slow down. Okay, so start again with the 4 shampoos.
The 4 shampoos are, the first one is cationic, which is a antibacterial shampoo. You will see that with those salts and blues, head and shoulders, all your dandruff, anything that has psoriasis, psoriasis, all of those type of shampoos, doctors prescribe, you have to have those. That goes under that category. Then the next category is anionic, which is your deep cleansing shampoos that you have to go into when hair is real soiled. You have a lot of hairspray, a lot of buildup on the hair. The next one is non-ionic, is your moisturizer shampoos. Anything that has humectants for moisture. You change your shampoos in the wintertime, and I always tell the clients it's time to winterize your hair.
Yes.
We change our shampoos on the back bar. And the last but least is baby shampoos, which is ampholyptic, and we don't really get into that unless we have children in the salon.
So, Ms. Carpenter, oftentimes when I have listeners to come in, and the first thing they do is they bring all their products and tell me what's good for them to use and what's not good. So talk to me about the lady that may come in and she may have, is there something wrong with the shampoos that they see in the grocery store that may be 99 cents? Or let's say they come in, most people are going to look for the cheapest shampoo so they can, because to them, as long as my hair is clean, I'm fine. What would you say to the people that run out and get the cheapest shampoo?
Okay, you get what you pay for. As simple as that. Now, I can say this. Most people do not understand the severity of turning a product over and reading the ingredient listing.
Yes.
If it says on the front of the bottle, it may say to you it's aloe vera, but if you turn the bottle over, aloe vera may be number 20 in ingredients. That means you only have a drop of it. Now, what I can say about cheap shampoos, sometimes if you know how to turn it over and you know your ingredient listings, some cheap shampoos have some of the same ingredients that expensive ones have, but expensive have more humectant in it. You're going to get more of the product, the shea butters and your humectants and your conditioners and things. Whereas when you get cheap, what you get, what you pay for.
Okay.
And it makes the hair rougher.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So now, what about the people that say, I don't want to use a whole line of products. I just want to use so-and-so's relaxer. I want to use such and such conditioner. I want to use my cheap VO5 shampoo that I got for 99 cents. I want to use my $1 cholesterol treatment that I got. Talk to me about the clients that are on a budget and they get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. What do you really recommend for the client that's on a budget?
First, I'm going to say that your hair has no price limit. We invest in females, if nothing else. we're going to always have some money for that hair. If the world came to an end, we would have money to go to the salon. So you have to invest in what you believe in. I believe in good products because you get what you pay for. And if I'm using a little bit of this and a little bit of that, how do I know which one is working with which? If you understand chemistry, the chemist makes products to work as a system. Meaning that if I'm using the shampoo, I need to use the conditioner. If I'm using the conditioner, I need to use the relaxer. What happens is if I use a little bit of this and a little bit of that, how do I know which one is working with what? But if you use a line of products, you can call the 1-800 number, which all companies have, and say, well, I find that this product is not doing what it's supposed to do or not. But you can't tell me that if I use a little of this and a little of that and a little of this. I don't know what may happen. And then still, you may have a reaction. You probably could have a chemical reaction because all chemicals are not made to work together.
That's true. Now, I also think that talk to our listeners about why is it important for them to, what about the client that want to do their hair at home? What about the client that say, I really can't afford to come into the shop and I go out and buy the products, I do my hair. I was at the committee meeting at Carolina Kitchen, and I looked over at Erica, who's a listener to the show, and I said, Erica, I love that color. She said, oh, this is a box color. I did it at home. What is your advice to people who take it upon themselves to do it at home because they feel as though they cannot afford the salon and the salon prices?
You can always come to BCI. You can afford anything you want at BCI. We're going to give you the best of products. We're going to give you the best service, and it's going to be done professional, and it's going to be supervised by instructors. So you can't get any cheaper than that. So I recommend when it comes to chemicals, everyone should come to a professional school, salon of some sort, because what happens is when you do it at home, you're going to end up right there with us anyway if you mess it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody question for Ms. Carpenter?
No, I mean, she just basically covered everything.
So, Ms. Carpenter, now let's kind of talk a little bit about, because I'm going to talk a little bit about conditioners. What did you tell the listeners yesterday in reference to conditioners?
I told them conditioners do not heal. They only retard, slow down the path of something that's happening. I told them there are 4 different types of conditioners and many more that's been added on. But your main conditioners are your instant conditioners, which are done in 5 minutes. Then you have your moisturizer, can be done from 10 to 15. Then you have your cream protein, which is conditioner, can be done from 10 to 15. And then you have your liquid hair, which is protein conditioner. That is what hair is made of, keratin. And we call it liquid hair. That is for damaged, color-treated, relaxed-treated, permanent wave-treated, relaxer, everything that's done bad to the hair. That's what it's used for. Now, if you have that, I told all the clients and all the students in the class yesterday, everyone must have a protein conditioner in the salon. And everybody got excited about that because they knew about conditioners, but they didn't know about the protein and the severity of having one in the salon. And I tell them about clients walking in with walk-ins, and you look at their hair, and you just go and do their hair, and you haven't analyzed that hair. And under that hair, she may have a high-lift color in her hair, and she's covered it over with a block or something. And you can't see that if the client don't tell you that. How would you know? So my thing is, I told them, I said, when you feel hair, by the feeling of the texture of it, this is what stylists do. We hear what the client don't say. We smell, we feel, and we touch.
That's right.
And if you do all of that, that will let you know almost what conditioner to pick out. Now, with that high protein conditioner, you have to know what you're doing. You cannot give that after a relaxer, after a permanent wave, or after a hair color unless the hair is damaged, because it will revert the hair back because it's sending a message to the hair, which hair is made of keratin.
Now, is that similar to like the Alpha G?
Yes.
Gotcha.
It is.
Okay, very
I didn't
good.
call any names because there are quite a few out there.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely politically correct. Ms. Carpenter, we had to go to commercial break, but I just want to thank you so much for calling in. This is your first time calling in, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it won't be your last. You gave our listeners a lot of information. I want my listeners to start calling now. Tell me something that Ms. Carpenter said so you can get your $25 gift card to the C. Allen Signature Salon. 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. Ms. Carpenter, I think that you did an outstanding job. They told me on yesterday, they said, because I had to ask, the surveys go out today, and I said, well, how was the classes? And let me tell you something, Ms. Carpenter. A lady named Abla, she works at the Aveda in Georgetown.
Yes, ma'am.
She said to me, she came to me and she said, not just you, Mr. Bennett. She said, every teacher today, she said, I was blind before I came to the Career Institute, and now I can see. She said, from the first teacher all the way to you, she said, I was blind. Her name is Miss Abla. She works at Aveda in Georgetown. She said, I was blind.
Before I left.
Yes, she said, I was blind. She said, but now I can see. This is the importance of what education is about. Thank you so much, Ms. Carpenter. We'll see you on tomorrow. You keep doing what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to take a commercial break. When we come back, Trendy Lindy's going to talk to us about how important it is for you to do continuing education. 1450 AM WOL, where information is power.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning. This WOL Traffic and Weather Report brought to you by Food Lion. South Dakota Avenue, the accident at Farragut Place. South Dakota Avenue, northeast at Farragut Place for the accident. Outbound Suitland Parkway, construction in the right lane after Stanton Road before. Alabama Avenue. Eastbound K Street, right downtown, heading east on K Street. First, you had the accident at 14th Street and then a work zone near 13th Street, also slowing things down as you head eastbound on K Street right now. Accident was still there, Texas Avenue at Ridge Road, so police still there to guide you around that. Visit your local Food Lion for thousands of MVP specials like 1-pound containers of fresh strawberries, 2 for $4. Now your WOL weather forecast for today. Mild this morning, then gradually becoming very cold into the 20s by late afternoon and down to 11 overnight. Tomorrow, clouds and sun and a high near 18. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
I'm Dr. Mary Harris for Journey to Wellness. About 15% of the U.S. population is African American, yet organ donation among blacks is low. Dr. Doreen Wilson, assistant professor of surgery at the New Jersey Medical School, says it's a real issue.
More organs go from white individuals and other ethnic groups to black folks because of our low level of donation.
In comparison, the donation rate among whites is around 70 to 75%. Wilson says the big issue, however, is how well the transplant will be accepted by the recipient.
Tissue matching will be better in general when we have organ donation from an African American to an African American because of similar genetics.
This is vital when you consider that research has shown, for an unknown reason, transplants are not as successful in African Americans as in other minorities. There's more at JourneyToWellness.com. I'm Dr. Mary Harris.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Yes, indeed. I tell you, Alonso, I tell you that Linda set me up with these earphones here. They crackling, going in and out, all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you that, Linda West Point. Andre.
I offered to give you my Dre Beats, sir. I did.
You know, so she had to just.
I love these things.
Okay, and while she's doing that, I'm twiddling with the cords to make sure that I can still hear myself. Okay, all right, Trendy, talk to us.
Well, when it comes to the continuing education units, it's so important. Right now, we are registering for 4 more classes that we have available at Bennett Career Institute. If you are a cosmetologist, a nail tech, and if you need to renew your license this coming April, you need to call us. We are there. We have classes available for you. And it's been a joy really registering all of the people. It's been pretty challenging, but one of the things that I pride myself in as a cosmetologist is customer service. And when the people call, of course, a lot of them don't look like us. They don't sound like us. So the language barriers have been challenging. But one thing that I know is if you're patient, you take your time, allow the person to speak, you listen when a person speaks, and then you speak, you know, we can communicate and get things together. So it's been challenging but also rewarding because a lot of times when these people call different businesses, they are faced with people who are very impatient. So that's when I come in and I look like a jewel because I take the time. It doesn't matter if it takes 5 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm going to sit and take the time with you, and that's great customer service. I remember when I was building my book as a cosmetologist, and as soon as I got out of hair school, I went to Barry Fletcher's shop, and he was doing a lot of celebrities and everything. And I wasn't at that level where I could do all of those polished looks and those real nice looks. But my attitude and the personality and the customer service won me over. So where my skills lacked, my personality and my customer service picked up, and I was able to make a lot of money. So I would like to stress to you, for those of you who need these CEUs, come to Bennett Career Institute. We not only want to help you get these units, we want to teach you something. We want to refresh you into cosmetology. Some of you been doing hair like myself for 20 years, 25 years. You've been away from that book for a long, long time. But the people that's teaching you, they're in their book every day. And then we have celebrity stylists that come to us. So we're still learning on a daily basis from people who are out there making things happen. So come to us. We would like to teach you, refresh you, revive you, and give you something to think about. When you go to teach your people, you're armed and you're dangerous. So we want you to come to us for your CEUs, and then we want you to take the information back to your communities and to your salons and make a difference. Start making some big money, and make 2014 the best year that you've had thus far.
That's really good, Trendy, because one of the things that I talked about in my class, I started off with something that we talk about often on this show, but I just switched it around a little bit, and I said, Henri, what is your 2014 plan?
Yeah.
And I explained to them, and I gave them examples on how do they plan. One way, look around in your place of business. Are there dead space? Dead space is space that you could be utilizing into something to bring in income.
That's good.
Why do you think that every so often I move the reception chairs around and I put a makeup bar in the clinic? Mm-hmm. Because to me that's dead wasted space. Mm-hmm. Where those magazine racks are, when we can put a generating income component into the place of business. So we kind of talked about, but listen, this was the interesting thing, Trendy. The interesting thing was the majority of the people were coming from one particular salon, and that was, I think, Spa Logic on Connecticut Avenue, mm-hmm. and Connecticut and Q, and it was like 12 or 13 of them. And so the majority of them were commissioners in there, but I challenged them, and I said to them, it's about you branding you.
Yeah.
You can brand you in somebody else's salon to make money.
Yeah.
I talk about, I'm going to get you in a minute because I just thought about it, that Trendy Lindy, she going to get cussed out on the Seattle Morning Show in a good 2 minutes. But let me go on. Thank you, Henri, paying attention.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Mm-hmm. Because I think about the Sea Island Signature Salon, and I think about how we have a new image by Acia, how we have Creative Couture by Tink, how we have the Red Chair by Rashawn.
Yes.
And these are people who are establishing their own business. Cool Cuts by Coop.
Yes.
Establishing their own business in somebody
within
else's
business.
Exactly. So they can be able to.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting too excited. Woo. Go ahead, sir.
Let me start right here.
He's about to go and let her have it right now.
Trendy.
I was getting excited.
I need you to, first of all, I need you to calm down because number one, you were late today.
Yes, sir.
And I'm looking for a new co-host because she was late. That's number one.
There's no one like me, sir.
And then number two, Trendy Lindy has been getting in trouble lately, everybody, because the listeners have been calling around trying to get this Trendy Lindy diet plan that she has on the Sea Island Morning Show. Sweetie, what you need to do is at 12 o'clock have have the Trendy Lindy show and let me go on to work.
You said that.
Did I say it?
Say it again.
That's
She
coming up,
answered
sir.
the
You
phone.
spoken. He's
Okay,
a prophet.
good. I'm
That's
glad
a
it is.
prophet
I'm
right
glad it
there.
is. As long as I don't have to pay for it. Trendy Lindy,
And you know I
the
need your money.
Trendy Lindy
You know I
show.
need that
And
money.
just remember that I gave you Trendy Lindy.
Yes, you
so when
did.
you start making money, I'll see you in the courtroom.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
I'm going to send you checks monthly. You will receive that.
He gonna make sure.
I tell you. Let's move on. So listen. So we talked about what is your 2014 plan, and this not only just this not only affects people in the beauty industry, but in general.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice, what is your 2014 plan?
Yes.
What are you going to do different? Because the next thing, the word that I put on the chalkboard yesterday was increase.
Yes.
You know why? Because every year our rent goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Every year our insurance payments increase. Every year there's a premium.
Mm-hmm.
And the question is, what are you doing to bring an increase in your life so you can make additional money?
Yes.
These are things that we have to think about when we're talking about having a business and doing something different, not doing the same old thing. We talked about what if there are 500 salons like 8th Street, Georgia Avenue, Georgetown, all these places, Wisconsin Avenue, all these places that have so many salons. I told the class, who cares about other salons?
That's right.
It's what you're doing in your place of business.
Mm-hmm.
No one cares about how many salons are on U Street. The question is, what's going on in your place of business? All right, everyone. Wait, let me just get a number. All right, 1-800-450-7876. 1-800-450-7876. If you want a gift card, you need to call me now. Go ahead, Amran.
Well, what you just said, the point you just made, reminded me of a conversation that I had, with Henrietta Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
She was, me and her were talking about, the graphic arts and about, the industry, as far as the beauty industry is concerned. And I asked her the question about oversaturation, about the market being oversaturated. Everybody wanting to be, beauticians, barbers, everybody wanting to be graphic designers, artists. And she told me, yes, there's an oversaturation in the industry, but there's not an oversaturation of talented people in the industry.
True.
There's an oversaturation of
That's
everybody
true.
trying to get involved in it,
That's
but there are only a selected few that are talented that are in the industry.
That's
and you
right.
have to make sure that you carve your own lane and show people how talented that you actually are. As you say all the time, it doesn't matter how good you are if nobody knows. You got to get out there regardless of how saturated the industry may seem.
And you know what? That's really good, Andre, because what you got to do is you have to remember that God made everyone different.
Yes.
What do you have that you're going to bring to the table?
Yes.
Did I get scared when Aveda came to Washington? No. How's it affect my business? Not at all. Did I get scared when Hair Academy put on a commercial to affect my business? Not at all. What happens is that it is important. How about Roosevelt having free stuff? What happens is that it's all about what you have to offer,
Yes.
how you crafted
That's right.
your gift and your talent to present to the public. So that's a good one. So as we go to break, all of you out there that have gifts and talents, don't be scared and afraid because you see other people out there doing it. So you say, oh, well, they like a good example at the Celebrity Beauty Weekend. We had troops competing for $1,000. 2 troops, when they saw the other troops, they decided to back out. That was the worst thing they could have done because you don't know what the judges will see. You don't know what God has in store. You got to take it to the end. So all of you who are listening to me, whatever you're doing, if it's ushering in the church, if it's singing in the choir, whatever it is, you do it to the best of your ability, and you watch and see how God give you the increase.
That's
but
right.
you have to do what you have to do your best.
Yes.
Who cares about the other person? It is what you can do. It's commercial break time, everybody. I'm still waiting on you. So I guess nobody want the gift cards. 1-800-450-7876.
I worked
Some
there.
of
I
y'all
want
scared
one.
to death. You need to get on the phone and you need to call me. 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Blue is my favorite color. What's yours? What's yours? Red is my favorite color. What's yours? What's yours?
Well, yeller's sweller for this little feller.
And me, I What's your favorite color? Tell us, please.
Kids will spend 20 minutes listening to songs like this.
What's your favorite color? Tell us, please. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite?
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives and the Ad Council.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Find a relaxed position to let go of the time you left your daughter's blouse in the dryer too long and it shrunk 4 sizes, or when you donated her private diary to the public library. Deep breaths.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Ellie the Mammoth, and my friend Sid the Sloth knows what being a great parent is all about.
I'm responsible, loving, nurturing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Visit adoptuskids.org for more information. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
1450 WOL, Washington, D.C., and WPRS HD2, Waldorf, Washington, a Radio 1 station, and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
Ooh, yes.
Oh, my God. Hello. Hey, how you doing? I'm on. I'm
They are so ignorant. I tell you, in the name of Jesus. It's an ignorant crew up in the house today. Praise him in his holy name.
Especially me. Hey, everybody. This is Andre, and I'm glad to be back on the Sea Island Morning Show. You know, we took a couple of weeks off because of the Celebrity Beauty Weekend, but now we in full swing again. We got Trendy Lindy in here, and we just all glad to be in the same place at the same time, trying to give people a little bit more education and get them on their road to success. I'm a barber, as a lot of you know, and I just recently made a transition from the Sea Island Systems to the Sea Island Signature Salon down on 705 Florida Avenue.
And let me talk about that for a second before you get started, Henry.
Okay.
I think it's important, everyone, to know that we are doing, we're practicing what we preach. We, before we went to break, we talked about the 2014 plan. Our plan for 2014 at Signature is we want to reach the masses of people. We want to try to give people quality services at discounted prices. We sent Henri there to be the administrator, to run that front office area when you come into Signature, to make sure that you have the ultimate experience with your beverage service, your coat being taken. High customer service at its best is what you'll find when you go into Signature with Henri. And if you do not find it, make sure you call me at the Bennett Career Institute.
And if you do find it, please still call him at the Bennett Career Institute and let him know. Okay? So, listen, here's something I want to talk a little bit about.
That thing really upsets my soul. Did you cut me off? Did you cut off Sea Island?
This is the Sea Island and Henri Morning Show.
Okay, did he cut Sea Island off?
No, of course not, sir. Of course not. Of course not. I just
Well,
came in on cue.
Okay,
That's all.
Now that was good.
Yes, sir.
But let me finish my statement.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so very much.
No problem, sir.
So very much.
Nasty. That was nasty.
Somebody clean the mic down. All right. So basically, what we wanted to share with you is Henri is the one that's going to be taking appointments this week. If you call and get the gift card, or if you just go there, 705 Florida Avenue. We're right next to the Gospel Spreading Bookstore, and we have the parking lot in the rear, which is facing Howard Hospital. So there is a place to park. The subway station is also right down the street, which is the Howard University Green Line station. But Henri is there to make sure. This is what we're doing for 2014. We want to make sure that we not only practice what we preach, but we want to give awesome customer service to our people. So Henri is leading that team along with the manager, Elizabeth, and AC, Rashawn, Cooper, Sable, Rashida, Tiffany,
Marie.
And Marie. So I think that it's going to be really awesome. There's about 9 or 10 of them there that is going to give you the kind of Sea Island experience that we require there.
Yeah, and one thing I've
Thank
noticed.
you.
You're welcome.
Andre.
You're welcome, sir. One thing that I've noticed in the time that I've been at the Sea Island Signature Salon is that everybody believes in that vision. Everybody wants to give great customer service and make it a really good, friendly environment for you to come out and enjoy yourself. I love serving people, so I'm there with the hot teas and the coffees and the waters and the wine, and I'm just really enjoying.
But you know what, Trendy, what bothers me is and I said it's nothing but Andre trying to put it on somebody else. Okay, now we give them their beverage of choice, Alonzo, you listening, we give them their beverage of choice. Now they're going to send me an email, can we have snacks for the clients? Let me tell you clients
and
now.
Wi-Fi.
And let me tell you clients now, what you need to do is you need to eat before you come for service.
We can have some
or
crackers.
There's a Danny's right around the corner.
See, Trinity, that's your problem. Now, see, one minute she Plexa Slim. 1 minute she Plexa Slim, losing weight, and then the next minute she's talking about going to Danny's to carry out on the corner.
I'm telling
because when Trinity Lindy was there, she stayed in Danny's.
I did, and that's why I'm on Plexus now, sir. You're right. That's the exact reason I need Plexus. So clients, if you go
every
around
time
to
I
that
walk
Danny's,
in the door, she had some chicken wings and fries with mumbo sauce
in that white car,
Trendy,
dripping from my hand. It was delicious, but that's why I'm on Plexus. I'm on Plexus now. But clients, when you're hungry, go right around the corner to that Danny's. They'll treat you right, and then come to me for Plexus because you're going to need it. Okay, back to Andre.
Did you hear that?
I'm not saying nothing else. I want y'all to come on there. We need to enlighten the listeners.
Yes,
go ahead,
all right. Well,
she about to really get it this morning. They're going to have to call the ambulance.
I know about that soon.
In a minute.
All right. Well, listen, y'all. I just want to speak briefly.
Metro accent, somebody.
I just want to speak briefly to the listeners about men getting hair colors and what you should be thinking about when you go about getting these hair colors. Some of the main reasons why men are starting to use hair color as an option. We're not starting to, because men have always used it, but the reason why it got really popular in the 2000s when the 2000s came in is because, first of all, a lot of men are trying to cover their grays. Some people are using it to define the shape ups and just filling in certain parts of their hair, because they're noticing that when they call it a blackout. When it first came out, they called it blackout, because what it would do is, if you had a spot missing in your hair or something like that, you could just go ahead and dye the hair as well as the scalp or whatever, and it looks like you have a full head of hair from that point. And that's a practice that, like I said, has been around since around 2000. They call it the blackout, or some people call it Beijing. We use a whole bunch of different applications now, and to create the appearance of a fuller head or a cleaner hairline and a sharper hairline, a sharper line as far as your beard and stuff is concerned. But I want to talk briefly about this service, because it's some things that you need to know about it. First of all, you should know what it is that people are putting in your hair, and you need to also, or on your face, and you need to also know that everything is different when it comes down to different people. I mean, some people will come and get this same service, and it's not going to look exactly the same as it does on other people. And then some people have to also consider their health when it comes down to these different things, because at the end of the day, you don't know how because these are chemicals, you don't know how they will respond or react to you and your hair. So it's just something to consider.
Let me ask you a question, Andre. Are barbers doing the patch test when they do the Beijing? Do they still do that?
I would say that barbers should.
They should.
They should.
But do you find that most are, or they are not?
I know that the ones that are coming out of the Bennett Career Institute,
we are
because
doing
we were taught that that the importance of the patch test and what it means to your client, because the one thing that you don't want is for your client to leave the salon looking good, and then 2 or 3 days later, broke out and all messed up. So some of the things that you should know about hair color is that there are 4 different types. You have the permanent, the demi-permanent, the semi-permanent, and then the temporary. The permanent penetrates deep into the hair shaft and seals the color into the hair and cortex.
Do you have to be leaning on me?
Oh, I didn't know. I was looking at him, sir.
I mean, Andre, you're doing a great job teaching. She leaned all the way back like she in the class. We supposed to be in a classroom, not in the movie theater, Trenton.
Oh, sorry.
Exactly. So that's the effect Andre has, that she leaning all back. Now, I know you single.
Hey.
And you saved, but I don't know. I don't know if you're sanctified or satisfied.
And I'm
let's go.
And I'm dapper.
He said he don't know if I'm satisfied.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Let Andre. Because listen, we have a lot of guys who listening, and they feel that oftentimes we leave them out when we talk about services.
Right.
So let's give Andre his time trending.
You want me to turn this way, sir? Because I
just was going through. I turned over there,
and
like she's in my lap. And she's in my lap.
And he like me in his
I don't
lap
think I'm saying let's get back to Andre, but I'm just saying, do you have to sit on my lap in the studio?
I was only on one of the legs, not 2.
Go ahead, Andre.
Okay. Yo, we have too much fun up here. All right, let's.
And first of all, let me say this. And first of all, he's so country. He's sitting at the top of the color of the grays. So instead of gray, he said grays. I need a bell in here. Every time his country butt mess up, I'm going ding ding that bell.
You gonna be dinging all day? That's all I do is mess up. So
okay, go ahead.
All right, listen,
and
y'all.
That is not all you do. Don't say that.
No, I'm just saying. I have a lot of country. I have my country swag is a
go
little
ahead.
bit
You
hard
talked about the 4 different colors.
But yeah, we got four different color. We got the permanent, demi-permanent, the semi-permanent, and the temporary. The permanent penetrates, like I said, deep into the hair shaft and seals color into the hair, into the cortex. The demi-permanent, these are the ones that deposit hair colors. There are 2 classes of hair colorants inside the demi-permanent. They don't contain a lot of ammonia, and these are naturally milder than the permanent ones. And these are the ones that that most of the men use as far as the just for men applications. The Begin, which is also known as the Beijing. These particular applications, they take about 12 to 28 shampoos in case, it just depends on how porous your hair is. But it takes around 12 to 28 shampoos to get the color out of the hair and before the natural color of the hair returns. Now, for those who wondering what porous means, it's about the porosity, which refers to how well your hair is able to absorb and hold moisture. So that's what we use a lot of times in the salons with the Begin, which is better known as Beijing, and the just for men applications. But then you also have the semi-permanent, which is even more milder. It's a class 1 colorant, and it takes around 4 to 8 washes to return back to the natural hair color. A lot of times, we use these. These are suitable for damaged or fragile hair that needs that people want colored. If you find out that you do a porosity test and then you see that your customer's hair is damaged, the semi-permanent is basically one that you would want to use. Now, temporary color is something that people use, really vibrant colors that don't actually go into the hair. It just sticks to the hair, and of course it rinses off almost immediately. This is something that people use in hair shows and different things like that, just to add a vibrant color to your hair, like the pinks and the different hues like that. And basically the difference between these is what's going to determine what it is that you're trying to get. As I told you earlier, the demi-permanent is the one that we basically use. It's the just for men, and it's the Begin or the Beijing. I personally like to use the just for men, and the reason why I like to use the just for men is because the application to me seems to be a lot cleaner, a lot easier to manage. And when you get ready to actually the more oxygen, goes into the color itself as it sits on the scalp, the darker it gets. So you can kind of determine how dark you want it to be. It's easy to wash out, and I just like it a lot better. A lot more men are using it just for men. So if you're interested in that type of application, you can get that at the Signature Salon as well.
Okay, so we have Angie on line one. Angie, before we go to commercial break, we wanted to hear from you. Talk to me this morning, Angie. Thanks for calling in on the Seattle Morning Show.
I just would like to thank you guys for keeping it real. And I was also calling about the gift certificate.
And Angie, and that's what you should see, Angie. I knew it when you called. She said, first I want to start off by saying thanks for keeping it real. No, what you want to say was, where's my gift card? All right, Angie. And she tried to be all nice and low with it.
That's how she should have.
Angie, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Northwest Washington, the Columbia Heights area.
Okay, that's where I live too, Angie. All right, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to hold the line. Alonzo is going to get your name and your phone number so we can call you. Yes, you are going to get the gift card. So we're super excited for you to go out this week to see Rashida at the Signature Salon. So then tell me, what kind of services are you looking for, makeup or hair services?
Oh, I would have to say makeup, because I'm an older woman now, and most of the time I wear my own natural hair, and I do have hair, and it's nothing wrong with blacks or people of color.
Gotcha. Angie, I'm sorry, I hate to cut you off, but we got to go to break. But hold the line. He's going to take your name and number, and we're going to see you this week at Signature for your makeup services. All right, everybody, it's commercial time in the house. Angie just won a gift card. If you want a gift card, only thing you need to do is pick up and dial the number 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
News Talk 1450 WOL and WOLDCnews.com.
Things are moving fast. Hold on tight.
This is Morgan Freeman. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Doesn't always cause symptoms, but it can be prevented. Get screened.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Good morning. This WOL traffic and weather update brought to you by Food Lion. Eastbound, outbound Suitland Parkway after Stanton Road before Alabama Avenue. The construction was in the right lane. South Dakota Avenue near Farragut Place. Accident cleared. Everything there is open. If you're heading eastbound on K Street downtown right now, it was an accident in the right lane before 15th Street, and then a work zone right after that before you get to 14th Street, blocking the right lane once again. It's a little slow, a couple blocks heading eastbound on K Street, slower than usual, approaching Vermont Avenue, 15th and 14th Street. Visit your local Food Lion for thousands of MVP specials like 1-pound containers of fresh strawberries, too, for $4. Now your WOL weather forecast for today. Mild right now, but temperatures falling this afternoon, eventually into the 20s this evening, and then into the teens overnight. Tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day, with a high tomorrow only near 18 degrees. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
Welcome back to the Seattle Morning Show.
And we're so excited that Angie won that. Angie won that gift card.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. So, just to reiterate a little bit, just to let you all know, I was basically briefing, some of the men out there about, about color applications. Okay, so with that being said, I would strongly recommend, just as Ms. Carpenter said earlier, when you're getting these services, I think that you should let a professional do it.
Yes.
It is very important because we go to school and we sit there for at least 1,500 hours to learn these different applications, to learn how to service them the right way, to avoid any damage to your hair, to know how long to sit the product on your hair and everything. We know, we go to school for this. So I think that it's very important that you find a professional if this is something that you are interested in, because doing it on your own could have some adverse effects, and the problem with that is somebody's going to have to come behind you and do it anyway. They're going to have to correct what you do. So I think it's just best to let somebody do it first on the first time around. Do it right the first time around. Because I remember before I started, before I went to school, I used to try to, do things on my own. And I'll never forget this one time when I went and got the S-Waves, the S-Waves box, and my foolish self, not knowing, undereducated, not knowing anything, I went and washed my hair first, scrubbed my scalp, and washed my hair first, and then put this application in my hair, and it immediately started burning to a point where I said so many different words. I was speaking in like 15 different languages because my head was on fire. But that's because I was undereducated, didn't understand. Okay, well, when you're applying these type of applications, you have to go about a certain way.
And then you also have to read the manufacturer's
directions
in the box. Because I've gone through the same thing that Andre has gone through. Lindy has a question.
Well, my question is, first of all, thank you for that, Andre, because I didn't know that procedure was called the blackout. I really like it when it's done correctly. I mean, to see a man with a sharp hairline and a sharp haircut, to me, is beautiful. I love to see it. If I had a son, he would get his hair cut at least twice a week because I just love that. But there are some that, with Mr. C. Allen's skin color, his complexion, black looks good when he does his face and his hairline. It looks beautiful. But then you get a light-skinned, high yellow person that come to get that dark.
Well, why is she telling people that I'm getting hair color?
Oh, I didn't know.
Face
but it just because one day, sir, you have no beard and then you got a full one. Everyone knows that's like a long weave.
Excuse me.
Now you done talked about my weave for about.
I'm not understanding. We're live on the air and you're telling people that I had hair color.
But sir,
you never had hair color.
No, you didn't.
I'm concerned.
But sir,
oh my God, what if I didn't want people to know about I have gray hair?
Sir, your hair looked good last week.
Oh, so then there she go.
I'm telling you for real. His C. Allen was
What's your question? What's your question?
But the thing is, I don't understand when they real high yellow and they get that dark blackout. They look like Dracula. Well,
this is what I recommend. First of all, it's kind of like what Rashida said about, make sure that when you're doing these contours on your skin that they match your skin. And I say that to say, okay, some people, they want the very, very dark. I mean, you don't have to keep the Just for Men on as long with lighter skinned people or, fairer skinned people. You don't have to keep it in as long. Or you can even actually use different colors, like, because as you notice, our hair is not completely jet black.
It's not.
So you can use other colors like the browns and all that other stuff to get the same results and it look a little bit more natural.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it all depends. I mean, but that's why you go to school for it, to learn, okay, well, which one do you do? But also client consultation is very important. Some of the fair-skinned brothers want that dark,
and that's what I wanted
dark.
to say. For you as a professional, do you allow the client to dictate what color you use, or do you do what's best as a professional? What do you do?
As a professional, me personally, I make recommendations, and I try to make them strong enough.
So if the person said, Andre, I want the black, and he's high yellow,
the customer opinion,
you will get it,
of course. Because
now I differ. I beg to differ with you on that. Because my name will be going out there, but you're not going to send my name out there with a person looking like Dracula. I'm not going to. So I would tell you, okay, listen, Mr. Reds, you're going to have to go to, I would love to do this for you, but you're going to have to go to Andre because I think it's going to look a hot mess, and I don't want you going out saying Trendy Lindy did your hair.
Well, once again, I think All right, I would do it, but what I would do is I would do what I know is best at the same time. In other words, if he wanted black instead of brown, I would give him the black. I just wouldn't keep it on as long.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I was saying.
Okay,
I would still do. I would do what the customer asks, because first of all, the customer knows best what he wants. As far as what he wants, what he needs, we might know better. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we're educated. We go to school for this. And I strongly recommend different things to my clients and say, hey, look, I strongly recommend this. Let me try this first and let you look at it. And then, you know, from that point, if you don't like it, the next time you come, you know, I do it your way for free. You know what I'm saying? Just to show him, all right, well, let me show you what I'm talking about. I strongly recommend it. But if he's like, oh, no, I want the black, then what I'll do is I will give him the black. I just will not sit it in that long.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that sometimes people devalue our career and our profession, because no one goes into a doctor's office and say, no, I don't want that type of pill. I need this one. You know, they don't tell the doctor how to prescribe their condition, but they sometimes want to come into the salons and tell us how we need to do what we need to do. But I think that's when we say, okay, no, I'm the professional. I'm the hair doctor here. And this is what I recommend for you, and this is what I can do for you.
Well, I think a lot of times people look at other people as an example of what they want. Like, you'll look at somebody else's hairline and you'll see how sharp and how clean it is, and you're like, man, I want mine to look just like that. But the problem is you're not that person, and that head is not your head, and the color of your hair is not the color of their hair. The genetic makeup is completely different. So you can't look at somebody else's example and try to make your own, you know, gather your own, you know, look from somebody else's look. You have to find your own look. What works best for your head, what works best for your skin, and make it happen. And make it happen. So that's what I recommend when people come to the Signature Salon down at 705 Florida Avenue. When people come down there, we basically know what we're doing. We know how to counsel, you know, and do consultation. We know how to do these applications, and we are more than willing to help you in any way possible. But you know, one thing I want you to understand is when you come down to the Signature Salon on 705 Florida Avenue, you are coming for not just a hair service, but you are coming for an experience. And that is something that you're going to get when you walk through those doors. It's a beautifully laid out salon. We have some of the greatest people on you know, that are working there. And I just enjoy being there, and I love being around professionals who love teaching each other as we continue to learn and grow in this industry together. It's beautiful to be a part of a good team. Okay, so we have somebody on the line right now, Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone, how you doing?
Hi, how are you all?
Hey, what's going on, Tyrone?
Oh, nothing but happy Monday to everybody.
Happy Monday to you too, sir.
Listen, you all have seen me, so I would like, what do you think about me having dark hair, with black hair? Do you think it, I would want it to look natural, of course, but I mean, do you think that that it would look all right on me, or do you think that off brown would also fit me?
I think Tyrone, after you know, seeing you, I mean, and by the way, you're a very sharp, dapper guy. I just want you to let you know that. Let everybody know Tyrone is dapper. He is really smooth and cool, and he's a really good guy. Tyrone, I mean, just by looking, I mean, I only saw you a couple of times, but I would like to maybe have a sit down with you and look closer, because you know, we just saw you in passing, or we just sat down and talked for a few minutes. It's not the same as doing a consultation as looking at your hair and seeing what's going on. But I personally feel like, just because I look at your skin complexion, that a darker brown would be a more fit for you than you know, a black, because I'm looking at your skin complexion, and you should always try to match whatever you do, whether it be, you know, makeup, you know, hair color, whatever, to a person's skin complexion, because you want it to complement that person, you know, in their natural looks and everything. But I really think a darker brown would be good for you. I think it would fit you perfect.
Well, thank you for your assessment. But my hair naturally is black, and I guess that is why I asked that question. is because do they have a shade of black that that looks that's not as, let's say, not as dark where my hair look like doll baby hair.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to look that black.
It's called natural black. They do have a natural black, and they have a jet black, and they have a really dark brown. And all of them, if you look at them, they kind of look the same. The jet black is the one that's the different that a lot of people are using right now. You can tell it's a major difference because nobody's hair is jet black. Nobody hair is jet black.
So I think that between the natural black and the brown that you said would probably fit me better.
Exactly.
And what'll happen, Tyrone, because we got to go to commercial break, but what'll also happen is if you come to the Signature Salon, because you're calling in, you still get a gift card. That $25 go towards that service. I believe Andre charges $40 for that service, so you only have to pay $15. My suggestion is you can come in and he can do a patch test in the back. He can do the dark brown first. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the dark brown, then he can go ahead and do it with the black. It's just what he was mentioning was the jet black is something that you don't want because it wouldn't look right on you. It would clearly be a contrast.
That's right.
From your
It
skin.
would look too dyed.
Yes, and that is what
want that.
and that's what he was talking about. So what he was so what you do is you always start with the lighter one first.
Mm-hmm.
And if that lighter one doesn't work, we can always deposit a darker one over top of it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Listen, guys, I want you all to have a blessed and safe week and love all of y'all.
Okay, so Tyrone.
Take care, Trendy.
Hey, Tyrone.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everyone. So what's going to happen is that we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go over the 3 C's in the business in reference to Beauty 101. This is C. Allen in the morning. We're still giving away those gift cards. 1-800-450-7876. 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Ferry residents, Tooth speaking. Sorry, there's no credit ferry here. What's that? He magically raises your credit score? Yeah, there's no credit ferry. But you can improve your credit by paying bills on time and keeping your credit card balances low. Money under your pillow? Sorry, kids only.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there is help, and it's free. Go to creditferry.org. Brought to you by the Consumer Bankers Foundation, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights Education Fund, and the Ad Council.
Good morning, I'm Doug Parrish. Here's the latest from News1.com, brought to you in part by FairfaxKia.com, a new 2014 Sorento for only $199 per month. Go to FairfaxKia.com for more info. Well, the mall in Columbia is scheduled to reopen this afternoon amid memorial services for the victims of Saturday's deadly shootings. Police say 21-year-old Brianna Benlolo and 25-year-old Tyler Johnson were killed by gunman Darian Aguilar. Police say Aguilar then took his own life. Investigators are still searching for a motive in the attack. As the Winter Olympics draw near, there is more concern about the safety of the event. Congressman Peter King described the Winter Games in Sochi as being a dangerous situation. Appearing on ABC's This Week program, King said he cannot guarantee the safety of Americans planning to visit Russia. We also heard from former U.S. Secret Service agent Dan Bongino, who says he's still not convinced the games will be safe.
My primary concern, having worked with the Russians before, is they tend to be very insulated when it comes to their response. I think their first response is going to be to control the media damage from any potential terrorist attack, not necessarily evacuation and security for a lot of the spectators.
Well, it's still important to note that Russian security officials are still hunting for at least one terror suspect who's believed to have already made her way inside the host city of Sochi. Back here in the U.S., postage stamps become more expensive today. The cash-strapped U.S. Postal Service is hiking the price from 46 cents to 49 cents. The rising stamp price, yet another effort by the Postal Service to stay afloat financially. It had to ask federal regulators to approve the increase because it's actually higher than the rate of inflation. And this report brought to you in part by Food Line. Visit your local Food Line for thousands of MVP specials. I'm Doug Parrish. When you're looking for news for Black America, go to News1.com.
We inherited this business from our father.
Who got it from his father.
We needed an emergency preparedness plan in case of fire, cyber attack,
or anything.
So we went to Ready.gov and got free checklists, templates, and more to be prepared. Thanks to Ready.gov, we worry less about keeping Rizzo and Sons in business.
Only it should be Rizzo and Grandsons.
And granddaughter.
Right.
Go to ready.gov for details on creating an emergency preparedness plan. Becoming a success is hard work. Protecting it isn't. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Ad Council, and this station.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
All right, everyone, we're back here. On our last leg, we have less than 30 minutes left on the show. So if you haven't called yet, you need to start calling in. 1-800-450-7876. 1-800-450-7876. Call in if you want to win a gift card to come out and either get a makeover or get your hair done by the Sea Island team. So you have not only myself, Rashida, you have Tink, you have Acia, you have Marie, you have Henri, you have Cooper, you have Sabo, you have Rashawn. So it's a full team of people there to service you. So just make sure that you get in touch with us if you would like to have come and check us out at the Sea Island Signature Salon. No, we're not asking you to get rid of your stylist that you go to, but you always need a backup. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? Valentine's Day is coming up. So we have a lot of specials, a lot of his and her for Valentine's Day. So if some of you were smart, you would have got the card so you can save it for Valentine's Day and be a blessing to your mate for them to come out for Valentine's Day. Lord, I got to tell you, and now the phone ringing. We ain't gonna give you no Valentine's Day. No, because you should not. I should not have to pump up. And we're giving away. Well, the phone's ringing, and we're giving away $25 gift cards, and some of y'all haven't even made it over to your phone. That's the devil. We're not going to give you. We're not going to give you and then want you to.
Beg you and give you.
Pamper your partner at the Signature Salon.
We're not going there.
That's our new.
All right, everybody. Let's talk about the 3 C's in business. Let's talk about the 3 C's in business, but let's take Kim. Let's see what Kim talking about first. Good morning, Kim. Welcome to the Sea Island Morning Show.
Hi, I listen to the show. I'm not a hairstylist. I'm not a salon owner, but I learn a little bit all the time just listening to the show. And you're a fantastic host. Thank you. It's a very enjoyable show. You have fantastic guests on, and I just get excited sometimes.
So let me ask you this, Kim. Tell me what part of town you live in.
I'm in the Landover, Hyattsville area.
Okay, very good. Now tell us today something that you learned from today's show. Anything.
Well, I actually just turned it on, but a friend of mine who's a male wanted me to actually put color on his mustache and beard. And I thought, I don't know.
You said it right then.
Yeah, and after listening to you and reading the instructions, and I can read, I'm confused as to whether or not the hair should be wet or dry. So I think I will use that to actually give as a gift to this person.
Right.
Because, I'm not sure. And this was right on time.
Okay. All right. Well, Kim, yes, thanks for calling in. And you won a gift card today to the Sea Island Signature Salon. What I want you to do is hold the line. Alonzo's going to get your name and your phone number. And then we'll be able to, you can give that gift card to the gentleman. You can just work that out when Henri call you in reference to your gift card. Okay?
Thank you.
And I want you to keep listening to us. All right.
Oh, I will.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Before we go into the 3 C's, we have Miss Bonita Branch on the line. Miss Branch is another one of our senior members, team leaders at the Bennett Career Institute. Ms. Branch, I wanted you to start off with a little bit for our listeners, because I know this is not your first time calling in, but for some listeners who've never heard you before, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then I want you to go into a little of your lesson that you taught on yesterday.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Branch.
Did I really put you on the spot like that?
Yeah, because Mr. Burnett just said, Mr. Bennett said call him.
That's all right. That's all right. But if you was listening to the show like you're supposed to be, Ms. Carpenter gave her spiel, I'm going to give mine, and now you're giving yours. So that's the wonderful thing about being an educator in the beauty industry. We're always on call. Talk to us, Ms. Branch. You have thousands of people listening. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us what you taught on yesterday.
Okay, I'm a 25-year educator as well as holding a Master's of Professional Cosmetology with the NIC, and I also teach the senior level or all levels of cosmetology at the Bennett Career Institute. So the continuing education series that we're doing at the Bennett Career Institute was very enlightening, and I felt that a lot of the people were really refreshed by the lesson that I gave yesterday. So I took them back to one of the sciences of the skin and how it's structured, how it's nourished, as well as the disorders and what you look for if it's not in its general normal appearance. So I had a lot of feedback and a lot of interesting questions were asked, and I do believe that they felt that they were educated enough to be able to help that in their careers at their employment.
Okay, so two things. The first thing, Ms. Branch, is like I told Ms. Carpenter, Abla from Georgetown, Aveda in Georgetown, she came up to me and she said, not just your class, but all the classes have opened my eyes. She said I was blind until I came to the Bennett Career Institute CEU classes, and now I can see. So I wanted to first publicly thank you so much for not only doing the administration part in reference to the certificates, but also starting out the class with a dynamic word. Give us, Ms. Branch, about a 3-minute segment of exactly what you taught. Tell us about skin. What did you teach on yesterday?
I let them know that it is the largest organ of the body. I let them know that it covers about 3,000 square inches, depending on the size of your body, and it weighs about 9 pounds, give or take, again, the weight of the body. And it holds us together, because if it did not exist, then we would be walking around like a fried egg with everything hanging out. We also discovered that it's slightly moist. It's on the acidic side on the pH scale. And if there is any kind of damage to the skin, then it is going to show on the surface as well as underneath. You have several layers of it, where you have an outer layer and 2 inner layers. And we have cushion adipose tissue, which is our fat cells. We don't really like to use the F word, but we do have to have that to contour. Some people have barely any, and some of us have a little bit too much. But depending on the nourishment that you give the skin, it is going to show on the skin. If you don't give it enough water, just like a plant, it's going to wither. If you overhydrate it or give it too much water, then it's going to retain that, and then you're going to feel a little stiff, and it's going to show that as well. You have different appendages on the skin, which is your hair. Appendages are things that are attached to. You have the hair and the nails. You have the skin, the oil glands and the sweat glands, and you also have, sorry, I pulled a blank.
No, that's okay. Well, first of all, you gave us way more than enough. We were sitting here cracking up in the studio because we said we caught you off guard, but then you took off like a jet, baby. I tell you, Ms. Branch, we want to just, again, thank you. We just want to give our listeners a little taste of what we do at the Bennett Career Institute. You know, a lot of times what happens, Ms. Branch, is a lot of times people think or they act as if we're just playing with mannequins all day, and we're not really getting into anything of substance. And a lot of people have no clue that we have to learn science, and that's one of the things that you teach. We have to learn chemicals. We have to learn so many things in order to the bone structure, organs, all of those things we have to know as if any other doctor would have to know. We have to know those things as well. How the body ticks, how many hairs on the head, all of those things we learn in beauty school. So, Ms. Branch, I just want to say again, I want to thank you for an outstanding job. I didn't have to sit in your class. You did a fabulous job. Everyone said to me, we're going to send the surveys out today, but everyone said to me that they learned and they gained so much knowledge from the classes that was taught at the Bennett Career Institute. So I just want to give you a shout this morning. That's Miss Benita Branch. She's a hairstylist as well as a licensed professional. She's been in the industry for 25 plus years. She's in the doctoral program now at NIC to get her Doctor of Cosmetology. Wow. So, Ms. Branch, you have an awesome day. And again, thank you for being an awesome team member at the Bennett Career Institute.
Thank you. I would be no other place.
All right. All right, everyone. When we come back, we're going to talk about, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 3 C's. I'm going to let Henry, Henri, and Lindy talk about that. The 3 C's in the beauty business: commitment, customer service, and consultation. Mm-hmm. Commitment, customer service, and consultation. Trendy and Henri are going to be discussing that while I'll look out for your phone calls. Call me and give me the 3 C's. Customer service, commitment, and consultation to win your $25 gift card at the Sea Island Signature Salon. And then also I'm going to close out with talking about conditioners, because I think people need to understand the importance of the hydration station. And I'm going to be offering that hydration station free of charge this week for those people who come in and book their appointment with Rashida at the Signature Salon, the free hydration station. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the 3 C's when we come back. Commitment, customer service, and consultation. In the meantime, you get ready to call. It's 1-800-450-7876. Again, that's 1-800-450-7876. We'll be right back after these messages.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Good morning. This WOL Traffic and Weather Report brought to you by Food Lion. On 295 northbound after South Capitol Street before Malcolm X Avenue, it was construction in the left lane, very slow up from the NRL to get past that. They're also working on inbound Route 4, Pennsylvania Avenue, right at the Beltway. You're going to find it blocking the left lane, Baltimore-Washington Parkway northbound, heading up to Laurel. There's pothole repair crews slowing things down as you head northbound on the Parkway up past the Beltway toward Laurel. Visit your local Food Lion for thousands of MVP specials like 1-pound containers of fresh strawberries, 2 for $4. Now your WOL weather forecast for today. It's going to start getting colder very soon. Temperatures dropping through the 20s by late afternoon, into the teens overnight. Tomorrow, a mix of clouds and sun, and a high tomorrow only near 18 degrees. Steve Hirschhorn for News Talk 1450 WOL, where information is power.
You wanna go? All of you who wanna go to college, wanna go? You best listen to this knowledge. Listen. You gotta be a go-getter, cause it's hard to get there. Get up in their face, get up in their space. Excuse me, missus. You say you're my teacher, you say you're my preacher. Excuse me, mister. You act like you're large and you say you in charge. So show me, what is it that I need? So tell me, the books I should read. Somebody hit me with the 411. There are steps to take, there's a job to be done. I want step 1, step 2, step 3 spelled out. All the info is what I'm about. So ask for help and do not stop. Knowhowtogo.org, let's ride.
That was Farnsworth Bentley with Wanna Go. For more college info, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
News Talk 1450 WOL AM, where information is power.
Good morning, everyone. This is Trendy Lindy here live on the Sea Island Morning Show. And this morning we have been taking you back to class with Beauty 101. But we're going to pause for a moment and go to the phone line. We have Tiffany. Is she there on the line? Tiffany, are you with? Hello? Okay. Well, maybe we won't pause. Is she there?
She's there now. Hello?
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, Matt. Who's calling?
This is Dana.
Dana. Okay. Hi, Dana.
Hello. How are you?
Great. Great. You want to call in and tell us something?
I think I got all the 3 C's.
Oh, you have the 3 C's. You're ready to win one of those gift cards.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay,
Dana, first of all, why are you talking like that this morning? You all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to do a consultation right now.
No, well, I can't talk too loud because I'm at work.
That's what I wanted you to say, Dana. You call here whispering, honey. I tell you, honey, this ain't no 1-900 number, baby. Now, wait a minute here, because Andre is the freak of the show, but let's get busy. All right, Dana, give us the 3 C's, sweetie, so we can give you this gift card so you won't lose your good government job. Give us the 3 C's.
Customer service.
Uh-huh.
Consultation. I think you said the first one was commitment.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, Dana.
Yay.
This is what I want you to do. I just got your number down. I wrote your number down. So what I want you to do is Andre is going to call you today, and we're going to schedule your appointment now. Did you want makeup services or did you want a hair appointment?
Probably makeup services.
Makeup services. All right, very good. And when I tell you, once you experience Rashida, you're going to send everybody to her. She's phenomenal.
Yeah, she is.
And thank you, Dana, for listening to us. And I want you to go back to work.
What kind of shoes you got
And I
on?
want you to keep listening.
What kind of shoes you got on?
See what I'm saying? I told you, Dana, the freak of the show. Dana, hold the line. Hold the line. Hold on, Dana.
He's so silly.
All right, everybody, go ahead.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to continue talking about our Beauty 101. So, Andre,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
spoke a little bit earlier about customer service.
Mhm.
What does customer service mean to you? Why is that so important in business?
Well, I'm gonna say this: customer service to me is everything. I mean, to me, it's even more than your skill set. It's even more than your product knowledge. The reason why customer service is so important is because, first of all, everybody wants to be treated like they're important.
True.
And when you treat somebody and you're sincere about treating a person like they're important, that they mean everything to you in that particular moment, those people learn how to trust you because they understand that you have their best interests at heart.
Mhm.
So customer service is the basis of consultation. It's the basis of really getting people situated in whatever it is that you're trying to get them in. Like, I remember at one point I used to be a salesman at Circuit City.
Mm-hmm.
I sold small electronics,
Mhm.
which is cell phones, regular cordless phones, fax machines, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times my customer service was, because the customer was so important to me,
Mhm.
I would tell them at all times, look, I know I can make a lot more money if I sell you this item.
Mhm.
But I would rather sell you an item that you need, one that you can use,
Yeah.
because I don't want to sell you what I want you to have. I want to sell you what you need.
True.
I would rather it stay in your home, become a part of what you're doing,
Mhm.
than for, me to sell you this big gadget. You don't know how to use it. It doesn't fulfill any of your needs, and it comes back and you looking at me like, why did you sell me that?
Exactly.
So because I had that approach,
Mhm.
they would come to me for items that I had no clue about in
Mhm.
other departments, because they trusted my word. They knew I was not going to just give them anything, and if I didn't know, I would ask somebody.
Exactly.
So with that being said, customer service to me is a center of everything that I do, because I really like serving people. I like to make people feel special, and I think that whatever energy I put out there is the energy that I'll get in return. So I do it because I love to be treated the same way.
Exactly.
So I treat people the way I like to be treated.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate, a lot of times here in this area, now, I
Oh,
really
my
hate to
goodness.
say it,
It's
but
the truth,
here in
though.
this area, it's so hard
Yes.
to find great customer service.
Yes.
It's really just difficult. And sometimes you just want to go down south just to get a hello when you pull up to the drive-through.
Well, guess what? You can get down south at the Signature Salon.
Okay.
Because Andre is there.
Okay, so we
Okay.
can get south at the Signature
Yes.
Salon.
You can get
okay.
some down south commitment.
Well, that's awesome, because really, it's truly hard to find. But when you find someone who genuinely want to service you and give you, a VIP treatment, you stick with them forever.
That's true.
Yeah, so
okay, our time
it's
is almost
vital.
up. Let's go to Richard. Richard on line 1. Talk to us, Richard.
Hi, customer service, commitment, and consultation. And I look for you two, and your work got lost, so I look for you two at the fair, and I was there. It was excellent.
Oh, you were at the beauty weekend.
Yeah, I was at for Andre and Mr. Bennett. Could not find them.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay, Richard, but I'm writing you down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold. Alonzo going to get your information, and I definitely want you to come out to the Signature Salon. Hold on, Richard.
Wonderful,
Okay.
wonderful.
Go ahead and finish, Trendy.
Yeah, so it's important.
So you talked about customer service. Let's talk about consultation.
Oh, consultation.
Consultation to me is the pivotal point, because when you talk to a person, you have to know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
See, at the end of the day, it's about the customer.
Mm-hmm.
That's customer service.
Yeah.
Consultation is customer service,
Mm-hmm.
because when you find out what a person wants, then you can also, assess the situation and tell them, give them your personal, your professional opinion, and you can meet them in the middle so that when they leave from your chair, they can be satisfied because they got what they pictured in their mind, you brought it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important. But you'll never know what's on their mind if you don't ever get inside.
That's the truth.
So you have to find out what they want and what it is that they're looking for. Consultation is also important because you can find out what a person is doing as far as their health is concerned.
Yes.
Because all of that plays a key in the way that you do a service to a customer.
Okay, so Trendy, talk to me about commitment. Our time is almost up. Talk to me about commitment.
Well, commitment is very important. Commitment is necessary because if you're committed, you're going to be passionate. You're going to do your best. You're going to stick in there. You're going to show up on time. You're going to provide the best service that that's out there. Commitment to your craft. Commitment to your clients. Commitment to you. Commitment to your owners. I mean, just being committed is a characteristic that you can't pay for. You can't buy. I mean, it's important to be committed. That's what's going to take you to the bank.
All right, everyone. So now, in our last couple of minutes, I just want to kind of talk to you about what we're going to talk about on next week, so everyone will be prepared. What we're talking about is I have been wrestling with this title to speak with our students with, and for some reason, one reason or another, the snow or what have you, I haven't been able to talk to the students in the student body meeting, but I also haven't been able to let it go. And that is, we're going to take that one last call, Alonzo, to make us having 5 gift card giveaways. Okay, they hung up. Okay. All right, so we'll take no more calls then. All right, we'll use those 4 gift cards and we'll keep it moving. So listen, Henri and Trendy, it has been in my spirit. It has been on my mind for a couple of weeks now. And my title for the next time we see the students, and my title for this coming Monday is Let It Go.
Okay.
Yes. That's so necessary.
What I'm realizing, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to make sure you tune in next week, my title is Let It Go.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us are carrying so much hurt.
Yeah.
So many of us are carrying so much anguish.
Mm-hmm.
So many of us aren't forgiving ourselves.
True.
We have to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to be a productive citizen in society and we continue to hold on to the bitter? We continue to hold on to what has happened to us 15 and 50 years ago. Do you understand that you are creating an avenue where love can't get in if you're holding the door hostage with all the bitter and anguish that you've gone through? Mm-hmm. There's some women that's listening to me that's just as bitter as an old bee because they are so sick and tired of the abuse that they have suffered. Mm-hmm. And they won't give another man another chance. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about the bitter woman next week. We're going to talk about the man who knows that he has broken the law, he has paid his debt to society, mm-hmm. but still he won't let go what he has done to other people. And it's time to let it go. You done your job, you did what you're supposed to do, you went to jail, you did it, you're home, let it go. I want to talk to all of the people out there. We have people who are holding on to the cause of a loved one, the death of a loved one. We can't let it go that the loved one is gone on now. We're holding on to the things because we were never able to say our sorries. We were never able to straighten things out. And now that person is no longer here. You got to let it go.
Let it go.
What I want to talk about on next week is how to live a free life. How to live a free life. And in order to do that, you have to let it go. I want you now to get on the phone and call all of your friends and family members and people that you think that are still holding on to something, and let them know Monday at 10 a.m. C. Allen is going to discuss with the team how to let it go. In order for you to grow, in order for you to be productive in 2014, you got to let the past be the past. All right, everybody, this is the C. Allen Morning Show. Trendy, Lindy, Andre. We had an awesome time with you. A lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of jokes. If you did not win a gift card, you can call Andre at 202-265-1772. Write that down. That's the C. Allen Signature Salon, 202-265-1772. All right, everybody, my time is up. Pamper yourself. It's your duty. Why?
Because you are worth it.
Oh, Andre, that was ugly. It's always one. Have a good week, everyone.
What kind of shoes?
And I want y'all to.
What kind of shoes you got on, Dana?
Cut us off.
1450 WOL.
Hi, I'm Layla Ali. I might be undefeated in professional boxing, but there's one problem and I can't fight alone. Childhood hunger. Over 17 million kids in America may not know where their next meal is coming from. That's 1 in 5 children. Yet billions of pounds of surplus food produced right here in America just get thrown out every year. That's more than enough to feed every last hungry child. That's why a network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids before it goes to waste. But they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank by going to feedingamerica.org. Together we can knock out hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
To help solve hunger in your community and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America.
All in together now. We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it? We know that we can. We'll rope it up, cause we know how to jump. We'll roll it out, cause we know how to skate. We'll cut it down, cause we know what to eat. We'll swap it out.
Just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day. That's
1450 WOL, Washington, D.C. and WPRS HD2 Waldorf, Washington. A Radio 1 station and worldwide at WOLDCnews.com.
The views and opinions of the following show do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Talk 1450 WOL, Radio 1 Incorporated, or their management.
The following is a paid advertisement by Purity Products. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases.
Hello, and welcome once again to Healthline by Purity Products. I'm your host, Pat Campbell. Did you know, according to ABC News and the National Center for Health and Statistics, that more than half of American adults are taking a dietary supplement? That's about 100 million adults taking vitamins on a regular basis. But here's the really big surprise. Our guest today says you need to take certain vitamins and minerals at certain times of the day if you really want to enjoy the full benefits. Our guest today, Bill Sardi, says, and listen to this closely, if you're not taking a specific roster of vitamins at night, then you're missing out on some of the best kept secrets in nutrition. Bill Sardi's here to explain everything. You're going to learn quite a bit today. Bill Sardi's a health journalist, an author of over a dozen books on nutrition, and a high-level advisor for Purity Products for 20 years. Bill Sardi, welcome back to the program.
Pat, what a stunning discovery. It's actually a rediscovery. We're taking our, calcium supplements for our bones at the wrong time of the day, and it's making all the difference in the world. That's our story today, and we want everyone to stay tuned because Purity Products has a double whammy, a double wonderful free offer today, so we want everybody to listen to the good science.
All right, now, Bill, this new information you're talking about is really epic. In fact, the National Center for Health and Statistics reports that nearly half of American adults take vitamins. That's more than 100 million people a day. Now, some vitamin aficionados know this, but most don't. And here's the point. If you take certain vitamins at night, you're going to enjoy greater benefits than if you took them at other times of the day. We're talking about sleep, brain function, bone health, heart health. Now, a lot of people knew that. What's the story?
I didn't know that. I've seen this literature before. I didn't know how important it was until I began taking a product that I help formulate with Purity products called Night Vite. Well, when I began taking this, I'm the typical guy in my 60s. You know, sleep is something you treasure, and you don't sleep as long as you used to when you were younger. And all of a sudden, I began sleeping longer and feeling more relaxed. Wait a minute, I'm the guy who's supposed to know about all these vitamins and take, a slew of them. I've written books about them. How in the world did I miss this? I'm taking this supplement now. Well, how does it do it? It's not focused around calcium per se. It's focused around you getting some sleep and taking it the right time of the day. And we're going to talk about muscle spasms and other things that happen, but it's important that you get relaxed, and that's one of the things this formula does, Night Vites from Purity Products, because when you take the right balance of calcium and magnesium actually being a muscle relaxant and calcium a muscle constrictor, when you get that balance, you can get relaxed in bed and you can get to sleep. And the trick is here, Purity Products adding just a little bit of melatonin, the hormone that we make when we close our eyes, a little gland at the base of the brain called the pineal body, and it makes melatonin, and it puts us to sleep, but it's the body's antioxidant, the antioxidant and healing molecule when we go to bed and when we're at sleep. And apparently, as we're learning here all together on the air, the science is pointing to we need sleep to keep our bones. How many of us are going to live into our 7th and 8th decade and longer? Most